by a transversal. For this section, this is a big part. These are all angle pairs. You have to recognize location. Location tells you how to set up the equation. The location tells you how to set up the equation. Parallel lines cut by a transversal. This is the symbol for parallel. It's the equal sign turned on its side. This is the picture you want to look at. The arrows inside the lines means that the lines are parallel. Your transversal is one line that intersects two or more. One line that intersects two or more lines is called the transversal. Most of these are going to be pictures, guys.
What?
Pictures.
The only question being.
The picture tells you the location of the angles. The location of the angles tells you how to set them up. They're either going to be equal or supplementary.
I've always said that.
Let's say one line that intersect what? Two.
He just can't spell.
Who wrote this?
Me. You have a problem with it? Pretty sure I don't care, and you'll get over it. If we were all graded on our handwriting, you guys would need a lot more tents. Alright, so the first one is vertical angles. Vertical angles are congruent. Vertical angles form an X. They're always opposite each other in the X. Look for an X. If the angles form an X, those are vertical angles, and they are congruent. So if you have that picture, it means you're setting them equal to each other. All right, next. Adjacent angles. Adjacent angles are supplementary. They are next to each other. Supplementary are two angles that add to 180 degrees. Two angles that add to 180 degrees. That's what supplementary means. Adjacent angles in the picture, they have to share a side. They have to touch each other. To touch each other, that means you have to share a side.
Why you keep messing up on two?
Because there's too many twos to choose from.
But every two.
Dalton, sit down.
That's crazy. That's tough.
That is. Life sucks. The struggle is real. You'll be next. Don't worry about it. Bathroom will still be there in 10 minutes.
What is that?
What is what?
That.
He's recording. What is that?
What is what?
That.
There's a lot of that up there.
No, that. Like, why?
Two angles that.
What's how you spell who?
Yeah.
That.
That. That's not that.
That's T-H-A-T. That.
It's not T-A-T.
I mean,
Like switch.
that's your opinion, but I wrote it, so it's that.
You are having the best time right.
All right, can I go?
No. No. It's hard to read.
Who left this one? Alright,
No, don't even try.
The next angle.
No.
I'm going to leave that one up there. Just calm down. Corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are congruent, and they're angles in the same position at each intersection. If you look at that picture, both of those angles are in the top right corner at each intersection. Same position, corresponding. If they're corresponding, they're congruent. If they're congruent, you're going to set them equal to each other. For all these problems, the picture tells you the location of the angles. The location of the angles tell you how to set up the equation. It's not a slide.
Slide the paper down.
I actually slide it up, but thanks.
It looks like you're going down. Looks maybe easy.
That's like
How was you gonna slide it up?
Next angle.
You're definitely sliding down.
Alternate interior.
Is it really?
Alternate interior angles are congruent. Alternate interior angles are inside the parallel lines, and they alternate the transversal. Inside the parallel lines, and they alternate the transversal. We got two more after this.
Man, I pencil can't handle it. When I look. Yeah, who got that? 0.7, please.
Here, use a man's pencil, not childish stuff.
1960 stuff.
Can I go? I have to flip the paper over, so everybody has to get all this written down.
Go.
Next slide.
We can't wait for that.
You alright, but next. Survival of the fittest, next.
What's that last word?
Oh, you need to start again. You're writing in cursive.
Oh, it's done anyway. Everybody.
Oh, you look like you're being rushed.
Okay, I'm just.
Lori, what do you want?
Just started.
All right, that's fine.
She's at ultra.
So do I have a med sit? How many more of these we got?
2. Didn't change.
I got this like that. I know how to do it.
I feel like if you live stream,
Look, my mind down.
I even got you on
So, yeah, you not. Yeah, so I got like, well, then. you need
All
one.
the proper size of life six.
I'm
I'm good. Anybody else still need this? All right, next one. Alternate exterior angles. Alternate exterior angles are outside the parallel lines, and they alternate the transversal. Alternate exterior angles.
you couldn't draw your lines on the line. Flag.
Movie's back, probably. Most of our
Back in.
Yeah.
Dalton. Shh. I didn't even know what you were saying. All right, last one. Last one is same side interior angles. Same side interior angles are supplementary. They're inside the parallel lines and on the same side of the transversal. Here is your packet. I will go over one question, one or two from each section.
Thank you.
When everybody's finished writing and they have their packet in front of them, we'll go over number one.
Are you recording? Oh, he is recording.
Yeah, I'm recording it, Jerry. Who said that's your real name? I'm going to send it straight to Coach Jones.
No, this is the edited part. You can edit this out.
Who's your position coach, Jerry? Coach who? Coach, you saying Coach Bell? Coach Bell?
Yes, sir.
What's that, D-line? I can send it to Coach Bell now. He's in big.
Harassment.
Jerry, you're not working again?
Don't lie. Why are I going to need
Less? Oh,
Did you get too many? Thanks, sir. Laura, you still writing?
Yo, next Friday.
And you see me next Friday. We're gonna have to do something fun next Friday, like a test.
Friday? No.
What fun do you have?
What type of fun? I thought you were
No, it's fun for him.
Laura, you done?
No, it's fun.
on the same side of the
What's that? You didn't pass that up?
I thought it
Lance.
did.
Lance.
I thought it
Lance.
It's fun for him because he gets to watch us not play. That way helps us not play.
It's like the one guy over there. Everyone says he like does things to purposely make you mad and upset.
Who?
Your buddy, I don't remember his name.
Larson?
Larson, yeah. And then they say he talks about life problems.
This class is the reason I have the treasure.
I don't have a course. I have some.
Bailey, almost done?
I have some random people that can.
Laura, you're done?
Oh, he's back.
All right, let's look at number one. For the first section, Matt, the first section, all they're asking you to do is name the angle pair. And number one, the two angles are inside the parallel lines, and they're on the same side of the transversal. I scribbled this line out because a lot of these pictures you're going to have too many lines. The only lines you care about are the lines that touch the angles. The one line that touches both angles, there's only one line that touches both angles, that is called your transversal. The angles are in between these lines and on the same side of the transversal, which means they're same side interior. That is all you need to do for 1 through 4 is just name the angle pairs.
Are you sure?
Number 5 through 14. You are solving for the missing angle. Again, name the angle pair. For number 5, these two angles, if you draw the lines that create them, it forms an X. Since it forms an X, they're vertical angles. Vertical angles are congruent. So if one side is 81, how much is the other side? 81. You're done. When Dalton gets back. For number 6, again, you have too many lines. The one line that touches both angles is your transversal. That means these angles are inside the parallel lines on the same side of the transversal. They're same side interior, which is supplementary. So you have to take these two angles and add them and set it equal to 180. So you're just solving for the question mark. Subtract 125 from both sides and you get 55 degrees. That was 5 through 14. No, I take that back. That's just 5 through 8. When you flip it over, 9 through 14, now you're solving for x. Solve for x. So you're going to find the angle pair, name it. That tells you how to set it up. In this problem right here, you form an x. So those are vertical angles. Vertical angles are congruent, which means you set them equal to each other. In all of these problems, they're either going to be equal or supplementary. That is it. Nothing else. Equal or supplementary. Vertical angles are equal, so you set them equal to each other. Subtract 25 from both sides, add 4 to both sides, so x equals 4. I also did number 10, which is another set of vertical angles. Again, if you can name the angles, that tells you exactly how to set up the problem. Vertical angles are congruent, so you set them equal to each other and solve for x. Every section in this worksheet, we're just adding another step. The first section, we're just naming the angles. The second section, you're naming the angles to find the missing side, or the missing angle. The third section, you're naming the angles to set up the equation to solve for x. The next section, you're going to name the angles to set up the equation to solve for x, so you can plug it back in.
For number 9,
No, it just says solve for x. 9 through 14 just says solve for x. 15 through 20 says to plug it back in to the bold angle. So you're going to set it up. In 15, those are same side interior, so they are supplementary. Supplementary angles, you add them to equal 180. Combine like terms on the left side. X plus x is 2x. 88 plus 108 is 196. Then subtract 196 to get 2x equals negative 16. Divide by 2, x equals negative 8. But you can't stop there because it says to plug it back into the bold angle, which in this case is x plus 108. So negative 8 plus 108 is 100. That is your final answer.
That's kind of easy though.
It is. It's all easy. This is basic algebra. The only geometry in this whole stuff is the picture. If you can read the picture, you have passed geometry. Now we're going back to Algebra 1 to see if you know what that is. Most of you are going to struggle in the geometry EOC because of algebra, not geometry. Everybody in here knows geometry. I'm guaranteeing that. You're going to get problems wrong because you can't do algebra.
No, I know algebra now. Put that thumbs.
All right, 16. There's way too many lines. But if you look at just the lines that touch the angles, those angles are alternate exterior. Alternate exterior angles are equal. Set them equal to each other, and solve. Subtract 12x, subtract 6, so you get x equals 8. Plug that back into the bold angle. 12 times 8 is 96, plus 14 is 110. That is your final answer.
20 minutes.
That is section 15 through 20.
No, like, since, like, number 16, the answer is 110, so both of them should be equal?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, section 21 through 26. You are finding the measurement of the indicated angle just like we did before in the second section. And then the last section, you're just solving for x. All right, go ahead and finish this worksheet.
We're trying it today.
No, the triangle congruence is due today.
Wait, what do we do for
Yeah, but rather than only Boston credit.